just woke up. It's like 1:06 or something right now, but I laid in bed. I laid here for a little while after, so it's probably around 1 when I woke up. I noticed the other day that I wouldn't say it will, but that it's possible, and I had the experience of having I'm still going to call it a vision, with my eyes closed. And there was probably another time I wondered if my eyes were closed. And so then I knew for sure recently, in the last week or so, that it was possible. And this is definitely not just like imagining, or I'm sure many people will write me off for that, but it's not like daydreaming. It's not like visualization, if you will. It's actually something like appearing that is so otherworldly. Like, it's better. The quality, if we were speaking in the means of art, it's so much better. All the visions are like, except for the Black Widow's better, which was very dark. All these light visions, they're usually bluish or white, like the color. They're usually like, the art is so much better quality, and like, it's just so different. It's just different than anything I've ever seen. So I was listening to this tarot reader earlier tonight before I went to bed, and she kept referencing someone who smokes. Well, I think I had like I don't know if my family is my blood family, but I had like grandfathers who smoked, but they've been dead for a long time. And she kept referencing someone who smoked. And then she finally said something like, I think you may have a passed over ancestor or ancestor spirit, or however she said it, who smokes. And I kind of I probably inwardly rolled my eyes, like kind of at the thought, like, okay, whatever. And I just woke. I'm like, because when I wake up and it's the middle of the night like this, I often have, at least especially lately, I have these visions and things, right? So I was like, my first thought was, should I leave my eyes closed and see if I have a vision? And I'm telling you that this picture came into focus, like it just kind of came on the scene, showed me, and then it just went away. And this is what it was. The best way I can describe it is it had like a frame, like a lot of them have like these square, not really a cube, but like a square frame. But it was like the whole thing didn't come into focus. It wasn't a full body. It was more like a face. But the image makes me think of whatever kind of, I'd have to look at my dinosaur types. I'm someone who doesn't even believe in dinosaurs. I'm someone who does not believe in evolution or the biblical creation any longer. I used to believe in the biblical creation. This thing looked like something from the Land Before Time. I'm sure y'all are familiar with that movie. I loved that movie as a kid. The kind that's like kind of stumpy, and it has the horn. I want to say for the nose, but it has like the horn that's kind of sticks up. It was that kind. I want to say Tyrannosaurus. I don't have any idea. Anyway, I know what this thing looked like. It looked similar to, like, in the family lineage, if you believed in evolution, which I might start believing that, it might be related to a rhinoceros. Like, it was very rhinoceros looking. Okay, maybe it was a rhinoceros. Maybe it wasn't a dinosaur. My impression was more like in the dinosaur category at first, actually, but as I'm saying it, I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe it could be just almost like a much more ancient version of a rhinoceros. Either way, the thing came into almost like a partial frame, almost like if you think of when you see a frame picture, I could only see like one corner and two sides, so like the whole image wasn't shown to me, but the part that was the face, and then this strange smoking apparatus. I guess you could call it some kind of a pipe. It was so strange. It had like the pipe itself had a complete full bend, like a 90-degree angle bend. Like, let's say if it was metal, like it was constructed for looks, but it worked. This pipe thing came into the picture separate from the face of this animal. Almost like if you want to imagine like if a person was holding a pipe and you can't see the whole frame of the picture. So I almost have this it was almost as if this ancestor was holding the pipe and then he decided he would take a hit, or whatever you call it, right? So the pipe thing that was in this outrageously, like, it just makes you think of like old wealth, okay? Something like I've never seen before. This pipe comes to the mouth of this, I'm gonna call it a rhinoceros now, and I want to say I was really impressed. It was a he, but he took a good, inhale, and then the pipe and the face went away, and it was all probably within, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds, but like the image is like bluish. It's just completely otherworldly. And first of all, as someone who eats meat, at least right now, I have been thinking lately about, like, I can understand more where people go vegetarian. I'm not necessarily inclined to do that, but when someone was referencing earlier today a manatee, or a praying mantis ancestor, and I'm like, oops. I'm like, oh, I kind of like had this funny thought, like, oh, there was a roach. There haven't been many roaches here at this hotel, thankfully, but I'm like, I hope y'all aren't, I kill bugs. I kill certain bugs. I don't usually mess with the bugs outside. I might flick them away if they're like getting on my things, but I definitely kill roaches. And I honestly, so that was 2 references to animals today that I really scoffed at inwardly and just did not even give it another thought. I'm thinking that some of these tarot readers just have way more far out their ideas than I do, and it wasn't like I didn't say anything. It was just inwardly scoffing, but it wasn't like I would have been thinking they were complete idiots or something. I'm just thinking that's ridiculous, This vision, oh my god, oh my goodness. I'll tell you what, it's just like with the it's a little bit more lighthearted than the vision of the Mennonites beheading a woman. But if you have something like this happen, like, it's almost like life-changing, because it's like, okay, that was enough that now I'm like, okay, like, I think we've been lied to. I don't think things are the way that any of the programming says, so I don't believe in biblical creation or evolution in the ways that in the choices that were given. I choose neither. But okay, apparently I have an ancestor who's in the like rhinoceros family, or possibly looking similar to a ancient, it was ancient looking, but definitely not, anything like a person. This was definitely more like an animal, and I'm just like, oh my god. And like, okay, between the shape of the pipe and just the whole, like, his persona came through, like, he is not someone to play with. Like, I have a lot of attitude. Like, I have a lot of spunk. Like, I have a lot of personality. This ancestor is not to be played with, and that was like beautiful. And I'm just like, it went away, and I just thought, I don't even want to open my eyes. Like, can I have another vision? Like, that was so beautiful. Like, the beauty of it is just enough to take you back, or to just mind blowing. And like, I can hardly believe that it's real. And I'm sure many people would write off the things that I'm saying, and I would have been the first to write them off. Like when I was a Christian. I mean, I'm telling you, today I was scoffing at other, awakened people who are thinking I could have an animal ancestor, right? So, like, that's crazy. Oh my god. It makes me... Okay, so I know I have an ancient soul. And I'm thinking, is it that ancient? It goes back. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But it also is kind of confirmation to an idea that I've been thinking when thinking about ancestors, that I'm like, well, my grandmother molested me, I don't know, unless I was adopted or stolen as a baby, which is possible. But I'm like, any reference to ancestors, I'm like, okay, my ancestors, the way I'm gonna take it is, it's more like, not, like, it might be bloodline, but not like bloodline within humanity, or like within like Earth, like within the generations that are close. Like, not my grandmother who molested me. Like, my grandmother who molested me, just because she passed over doesn't mean that she's now a good guy. You see what I mean? This thing was ancient looking and had so much spunk and personality. Oh my god. No wonder they love me. I'm just like them. I've got all that spunk that those Bible verses kept seeming to want me to hide. Which enabled all these people to build off my backside for all those years. Oh my goodness, this was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. And it's just an image, so maybe it's not like exactly what he looks like. Just like the image the other day of my door having like this crazy bolt, like at the top. I did a voice video about it, a recording about it. Just like that was just showing me, it was definitely communicating, like, I'm safe. I don't have to move the dresser. I don't have to move the dresser in front of the door. My protection is top tier. And so maybe it's not, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's not like that. I'm not going to say the ancestor's not really rhinoceros looking. I don't know. It makes me just think of how far back, and this whole idea of like spirit guides, and like, I don't know, this was enough to change my mind about, at least to consider, I don't know. I don't think we ever came from monkeys. I don't know. But I definitely am convinced now in animal spirits. I have thought it's interesting when people say, if you ever feel like drawn to this kind of animal, you should look up the meaning, and I have done that. But I still would have looked at it more, metaphorically. But even if this picture of this thing with even the pipe, like, it was crazy. The pipe was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like, like, just like when you have wealth that you can just flaunt. But it wasn't an air of like, it was an air of, like, not to me, but it was an air of, he definitely had an air of like, he's not someone to be toyed with, oh my gosh, just the puff and everything. It was like, I'm the one, I'm the smoker. It was just, there was no audio. It Oh my god, I'm just blown away. I am blown away.